I went on a hike when life got too much, and I found God in a waterfall. Okay, not literally, but close. Here's how one hike reminded me of who I am. Hi friends, I'm Malcolm, and welcome back to Life with Eyes. So I've been feeling pretty overwhelmed recently, like stress on top of stress kind of level. Things like me moving and sorting out different things, business, work, life, bills. It's been a bit chaotic, honestly. I felt kind of disconnected with myself, from peace, from God even. But then, I got a message from my friend Kiana, the person I basically moved here for. She goes, want to go to a hike to a waterfall. And I'm not gonna lie, I hesitated because I was in this little rut, but I just thought I haven't really been to a waterfall before, and something in me just said, let's go. It was a long drive. It was I think 2 and a bit hours through some country road, and it was so cool. It was nice to drive out from town and go into the woods and be surprised about what we're gonna find. And the deeper we went, the more I could kind of feel myself pausing or forgetting about everything I had on my mind and thinking about what the waterfall could look like, what adventure we're going to go on, and what beautiful things I'll see on the way. And it was kind of calming, the stillness, the way nature just is. It doesn't rush or panic, it just kind of exists, doing its own thing, having a kind of understanding of the way it should be. And it reminded me of a verse, Psalms 46:10, be still and know that I am God. And thinking about it, that verse kind of hit different out there. When the noise was quiet and all that was left was the birds and the wind and my own breath and Noah Khan playing on the radio. That's when I remembered who's really in control. And when we arrived, it was actually pretty cool. See, before we even arrived to the main adventure, we stopped off at a mini waterfall we saw through the driving up this hill, this mountain we had to drive through, and it was a little mini waterfall, kind of a little teaser or a little expression of where we're gonna go. And even that was better than any waterfall I've seen before, and I was amazed by it. So we stopped off, took some pictures, and I taught them the stance, which you might see, and we kind of had some fun, goofing around. It was nice to have it being a light-hearted adventure with some friends rather than something serious or something where I brought the stress with me. It reminded me that, I can just pause and have fun and enjoy things like the waterfall or goofing off with my friends. And it was kind of cool stopping off. And after that, we ventured out into the clouds, going higher and higher through a mountain, and the mountain was very sketchy. It was a single way road across this mountain, but it was actually really fun because I haven't seen much of Queensland and I haven't been out adventuring, so this was a nice little bit of adventure. We then saw some fun cows, which on the way back I have a story to tell you about those cows. And we stopped off at another lookout point, which it was really beautiful. It was just a normal lookout point over the mountain, which you'll see, and
we can get a cylindrical of this. Opening up the road past the point. An awesome task.
They definitely know what they're doing.
This is so pretty. It was very calming, and my friends are pretty funny that I went with, and it was really nice to go with them, and they kind of goofed off a bit. We took some photos and group photos together, and it was nice just looking over. While they were taking their couple photos and stuff, I looked out into the field and I saw some cows just living life on top of these mountains in the clouds, just enjoying it. And I was like, wow, I can really appreciate that, because in a way I was kind of jealous of the cows because they kind of just sat there and did their thing that they knew was going to happen. But I know that I have a purpose and God put me here for a reason, and everything I'm doing is towards His will. So in a way, when I take my own self out of things and my unselfish needs and my unselfish stress, because usually all the stress is coming from unnecessary things or things that I'm concerning myself with that I shouldn't be, because I know God has everything. Everything's sorted, all my plans. He knows every single hair on my head. He knew my plans when I was in the womb, so maybe I should be like the cow and be diligent in doing my thing. Also, there was some cool trees and cool stuff that I got some lovely footage on. When we arrived at the place, I saw this awesome, like there was this car meetup of like these retro cars, and I got a little clip of one and it was amazing. It was so cool seeing those vintage cars near that national park. It was awesome. But after seeing that amazingness, we sat down, had a chat and had some lunch before our hike and joked about some random stuff, and then began our hike. And for me, the hike was no joke. I'm not really much of a hiker. I want to get into it, but it wasn't that long. It was like 2 kilometers. That's what it said. Well, it was about an hour hike. But it was no joke. But it was worth it. Very worth it. Which I'll come to find. And I felt like on the way, I was walking my way back to sanity, you know? All my little feelings and thoughts, kind of, the painful ones, the sadness, all kind of drifted away, you know? It was fun laughing with friends, pointing out all the little weird things we saw in nature. Not weird, little unique things we saw in nature, and just enjoying them, you know? How there was running water and droplets, there was leaves swaying, rocks just formed from constantness from so many centuries probably. And also kind of reminded me that sometimes healing doesn't sound like silence and solitude. I've noticed at times it's belly laughing and, you know, just enjoying the weirdness of the weird situations life put us in and just laughing at it. Sometimes it's muddy shoes on this, like it was on this hike, and rocks I'll probably never return. Shout out to my New South Wales rock. We went to the border after this hike and I got a rock off the road. In Matthew 11:28, come to me all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. See, Jesus didn't say, come to me when you got your life together, when you have it all figured out. He said, come to me as you are, tired, messy, worn out. And I was all of these things. But the hike, it was kind of like a prayer, a slow one, with sweat. See, when I saw the waterfall, everything kind of just stopped. It was like those moments in a movie, you know, that scene when you discover the thing you've been looking for and it's just beautiful and wonderful and you're just in shock. You don't know what to say, you don't know what to do. It was like the world reminding me, this is real. Beauty still exists, wonder isn't gone. You just have to look up sometimes. See, God doesn't always speak in lightning. Sometimes he whispers in waterfalls. That's what it was for me. Psalms 23, 2-3. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. And in that moment, my soul felt restored. Not fixed, but full. Held. I didn't know how much I needed this waterfall until I was standing in front of it. You know, I was hesitant on the trip. I was like, oh, it'll just be something I tick off, something I do. But actually standing there in the awe of it, I felt so unreal. I felt so alive. It was different. And note to my future self, adventure more, go on more hikes, see stuff, say yes to opportunities. Like, any opportunity you get, say yes to it, experience life to the fullest, no matter what. Even if you feel a little poop. If you're overwhelmed too, maybe you find some solitude in the Bible verse that I shared. Maybe you can go talk to God in your own way. Or you can just have a chat with him in the situation you are in right now. But maybe sometimes you don't need that solution. Maybe you just need a walk, a view, a reminder of God's beauty and everything he creates and how wonderful you are and how he's got you. We don't always find God in big answers. Sometimes we find him in small adventures. And for me, that's what it was. This adventure was kind of what I needed. And it felt good going with friends and just being in the moment. Even though I was filming it and even though I was trying to capture that moment, I was still in it and I was still enjoying it. And I'm so glad I pushed past the hesitation. I want to read to you guys another Bible verse. It's not really planned. Like, I usually plan Bible verses, and I have them prepared ahead of time. But this Bible verse I absolutely love. I think it's very fitting for this. Psalms 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right path for his name's sake. And even though I walk through the darkest valleys, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and your staff. They comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. It's just, that's kind of what this hike and kind of what this adventure and the lesson I kind of have is, the Lord is my shepherd. Like those cows, and I was looking to see sheep because I love sheep. My favorite animal. I lack nothing. They lack nothing. I lack nothing. And you lack nothing. The Lord is our shepherd, and he's always got our back, you know, in whatever we pursue. This was a little adventure also, because hopefully you just enjoyed the hike if you want religious, my little adventure. And hopefully, Malcolm, you're watching this like years and years down the track, or your kids are watching this and you're like, hey, a little hike, a little video, a little reminder. But I wonder if my kids are watching this, hi. Hello. Be good. But I love you all very much. If this video resonated with you, maybe share it with someone who's also feeling overwhelmed too. Drop a comment below. What's your waterfall moment lately? I'd love to hear it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I've got more stories, hikes, and different moments. I do a fair bit of things to share with you guys, and I'd love to share it with you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all very much, and God bless. Goodbye.